Hello everyone, Ray O'Daniel here on another glorious Wednesday. Sit back and come to drop some knowledge on you regarding high level here. So just gonna give it just a minute here, check on a few things here. I hate continuing to talk and not seeing if I'm exactly online, so you need to check on that real quick. Hope everybody's doing well here. A beautiful day where I am. If any of my members have logged in yet, I would appreciate if you could just drop me a quick message in the chat.
Hunters.
I would appreciate that. Alrighty, so it looks like we are doing well. Let's see here. Looks like everything is good to go. So awesome. Okay. Well then, right now what I will do is just continue to move forward here. Right now, one of the things I keep noticing that people struggle with inside of high level, hopefully you're able to see the one for last week, because that's one of the problems that I saw is like, how do people, what do they sell? What services do they get started with? High level has got so many features, so much power. Where do they begin? And do you sell everything or do you just sell a few things? And I demonstrated on the live last week how you can start your own Google review agency, some of the things you need to look at, some of the components, and even provided a snapshot for you. One of the snapshots that I had for reputation management that would allow you to sit back and help you out, get at least started on some of those components. Now, another thing about this week is whenever people get started and they start marketing and they start advertising and they finally get a client to say yes, then a lot of people are like, okay, great, now what do I do? Now, last week I did talk briefly about an onboarding process and things like that, but specifically, you should always have at least a basic funnel, or at least if it's on your website, maybe you should have a series of pages on your site that basically directs people to fill out certain things, fill out certain forms, information, maybe even schedule an onboarding call, things like that. Get all of that information out as soon as they log in and buy your services, so that at least the customer knows when they're going to be able to speak to you. So that just makes sense that they get signed up, they want to start doing this and spending some money and get started with your business. Well, they're going to be able to sit back and give you the information that you need for your onboarding, as well as being able to set up just like a strategy call and kind of go through that entire process at once. So if you are an affiliate of mine, by the way, I'm an affiliate of High Level. I do offer a 30-day free trial in the link below. But if you are an affiliate of mine, then you already have a basic example of this funnel that I'm going to show you, because I include that in my affiliate snapshot that I give to everybody. So let me just hop over real quick, make sure we don't have any questions. Cool. So right now, what I want to do is kind of dive in and just show you a couple of the components that are involved in building just a simple onboarding funnel. Now, any type of onboarding process that you do, any sales process that you have for automations, you should absolutely have. It could be on a website or it could be on a funnel. That choice is going to be completely up to you. Me personally, I do like to use funnels for processes that are very structured, like for ordering sales. People buy something, they go to the next step, they go to the next step, and maybe you upsell them, maybe you downsell them. Either way, you kind of walk them through step by step of your funnel. And that's what the purpose of a funnel is, to go from point A to point G, if that makes sense, in a number of steps, and just walk people through based upon the decisions they make inside the funnel. They could choose to go to one page or another page and so forth. For instance, if they select, if they want to buy your upsell, if you're selling them something and you have an upsell and they click on that button to upsell, you might take them to the upsell page of the funnel where they buy it, and then from there you might take them again, depending upon your value ladder or your ascension model, whatever you want to call it. You would go up and sell them another thing and another thing, and maybe they might buy 3 or 4 things all from your funnel. But anyway, I digress, and that's kind of like a different thing of when you're dealing with funnel building and funnel structuring. I did that years ago, and it kind of stuck with me. So I enjoy it, but let's hop into it here. I'm going to go over to sites. Now, in this particular example, I did a funnel. So what I'm going to do is come over here, and this is a funnel, again, that I offer in my affiliate snapshot. It's called the SaaS onboarding funnel, and I'm going to open that up and let's take a look at it. Now, I just want to sit back and say you don't need to use a funnel. Please, I'm using a funnel for this example, but you don't need to use a funnel if it's you. Okay, you can use your website. That is another thing that's perfectly reasonable. You just have to make sure that whenever you do this, you connect all the button clicks and what happens after somebody clicks on this button, and what happens after somebody orders something, what page do they go to next. The nice thing about a funnel is that, for the most part, they automatically go to the next step, unless you program something different in there. But let's take a quick look here. First of all, what I'm going to do is hop over and show you my screen. Sorry about that. I didn't have that up. But right now, what I want to do is kind of show you the brief outline of the steps that are involved here. And I'm going to try to blow this up a little bit here. Give me a second. So if we take a look here, we've got a home page. Now, the home page here is just going to be the main landing page. It could be a virtual sales letter. It could be just anything about, hey, I've got a great product. If you're interested in getting started, here's all the 5,000 reasons why you should buy it. Go ahead and click on this button to get started. Something like that. So that's kind of what happens. You've got a main page where you're trying to go through and sell your product. And eventually, if somebody says they're interested, it could be getting started. It could be buy now. It could be any number of things. Just you need to take them to, they've said, hey, they've raised their hand and said, hey, I want to move on to the next step. I do want to buy something, get started. Let me take a look. So here, because we're dealing with HighLevel, you may be dealing with several different plans inside of HighLevel. Now, when you're selling different plans, again, you may only have one plan, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That you just have one plan that you sell, and this is it. So if that's the case, then this process becomes a lot more simplified for you, because you don't need a couple of pages. You don't need the select plan step, and you probably don't need a couple of these other steps here. But I'm going to take under the assumption that HighLevel starts everybody else out when you go to the agency pro level. And again, for that, you get the SaaS configurator, and the SaaS configurator typically has 3 plans already configured: a standard plan, a pro plan, and a premium plan. That's just kind of what HighLevel calls it. But each one of those, standard has certain features. Pro has everything that's in standard plus a little bit more, and then premium offers everything. Kind of a plan. And of course, each one of those has different pricing models from both the monthly and the yearly costs. So each one of these, this is kind of how I set this up, so that you have 3 different choices for people to select the plan. Depending upon what plan they select is what step they go to in the funnel. So here in the select plan, if they click the standard plan, they'll go to this step. Pro, they'll go to this step, and then premium, they'll go to this step. Now, regardless of what plan that they actually buy, once they actually look at it and fill out the form, this is the actual purchase. So once they fill out that particular form, then they'll actually go to an order confirmation screen. So you just want to give them an order confirmation. Hey, thank you so much for purchasing, that kind of thing. You might even have a little video on there. I don't have one on this one, but you could. Order confirmation is just kind of let people know that they have purchased. And at that point in the order confirmation page, there's also the ability, you should probably behind the scenes have a workflow that automatically kicks off just a basic, hey, welcome sales, thank you for purchasing. Any information, if you're given access to a community, anything like that should be done at that point whenever they actually purchases. But because we're dealing with an onboarding funnel, we might need to get some additional data information from them up front before we actually schedule our onboarding call, which is another thing that we want to schedule to get them up and configured as soon as possible. So that right there is what we're looking to do, all in the same process as when they're buying. So they buy, they give us all the additional information at this point, and then at that point they schedule their call. At that point we can take them to sort of a final page where you just say welcome, thank you, and I'll kind of show you how this works. But right now those are the steps that we've got. And right now what I want to do is just kind of walk you through each one of the steps in here. So if you don't, you could simply rebuild this if you want. Forgive me if I keep looking over. I'm just trying to make sure that we've got, we don't have any questions here from any of my YouTube channel members. So if you are a member, you can get logged in and ask me questions as we go here. So let me go ahead and pop up. I'm gonna just take a look at this main screen. Now again, this right here would be your virtual sales letter. Now this right here is just a basic template that I give people that sign up. This is something very similar to what you see on HighLevel's site. But right now, this is you. I've got it customized with this fake company, Digi Global Marketing. And of course, when somebody wants to, they're going to sit back and say, get started. They're going to click on the button. And then once they get started here, that's now going to take them to this other page. And again, keep in mind, these pages aren't like super decked out and really configured nicely. They're meant as an outline blueprint. You know, you can kind of put background color, shade. You could do all the pretty stuff to it and add any of the stuff, but basically want to get you the basic functionality of what you need. So here you're going to be taken to a pricing plans. And of course you can have any other text, sub-headline, and thing like this on this page here above pricing plans. But we've got the standard. Here's all the things you get with the standard. Here's all the things you get with professional. And then here's all the things you get with premium. So this right here, and then keep in mind each one of these has a start trial. Again, you can click buy now. It doesn't have to be start trial. You don't have to provide a trial if you don't want to. That's just what the button says. You can call it buy now, choose this plan, whatever you want. But the key secret of this is the button events here. So if I click this button, then obviously I'm going to go to the standard plan. I'm going to go from the select plan step to the standard plan step because I selected the button under the standard plan. Professional, when I click this, it will then go to the professional plan step here, and then the premium and so forth. Okay, so that's how you differentiate and move people to the particular order page so they can order that particular pricing plan. And then from there, everybody else follows the same path through the funnel with the order confirmation, things like that. So and again, I'm going to walk through the funnel here, and then we're going to look at some of the tech setup behind the funnel, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm going to be doing here. So right now, of course, I want to get the Mac Daddy, the best of all. I'm going to click on this premium, click start trial here. Now, I've got this funnel in test mode, just to let you know. Now, if you're not sure what test mode is or you don't remember, test mode is the ability to sit back and go through and test your entire funnel, including purchasing without having to use a real live credit card. You can use Stripe's, and I'm using Stripe for this one, Stripe's default credit card number or fake credit card number to use it, and then it will represent that a sale has taken place in this, in which case it won't actually charge your account. It's in test mode, but it'll just basically take you through the funnel and make sure that your funnel is working correctly, which is very important. So right now, just for the time-saving purposes, I've already kind of been through this, so I've already got this information here. The sales order form asks for your company, your name, your email address, and your phone number. So all of that information is configured. And the good thing about this is that everything on these forms and purchase agreements should be what they call sticky. Now, sticky is something that is not enabled by default. So on your forms and on your calendar and things like that we have, you're gonna have to go on and turn on the sticky forms feature. It's just like a toggle switch that says turn on the sticky forms, which basically means that all the information that you put in the order form will continue through every step of the funnel, so people don't have to continue to fill out their name information as you request that in different stages of the funnel. So just to let you know. Now here you see we do have the premium product here. That is $499. Right now, again, you see right here, it is in test mode. That's good, so you don't need a credit card. But again, we're going to come down here and we're going to just add just do 4242. That's the basic Stripe number. Go all the way across with just like that. Expiration, you just need to make sure the expiration is sometime in the future. That's all. It won't work if it's in the past. Choose any CV code, 3-digit code, and then of course the infamous 90210 zip code. But here what we've got, we're going to fill this order out and complete it. Say complete order. So now it's going to go through the process, and then what it's going to do is it's creating the customer record inside of your CRM system. It's doing all of that and putting all the information in there regarding the sale. This is where your your automation for your sales process would kick off. At this particular point, these people would now start receiving emails from them. And again, keep in mind, Here's the order confirmation. Hey, your account will be created in the next few minutes, and you will receive an email with your login credentials. Look in the spam junk folder, blah, blah, blah. Now, attention, fill out our new client form right here. So right now, if you take a look, it does have an order confirmation, and you can move and adjust these if you want to. I like to put the new client form, just a little button right above at the top to make sure people see it so that they click on it and make sure they go to the next step to fill out the form. So right now, you can put in whatever you want for this, but right now this was built with the Agency Pro model in mind. Now what that means is that when somebody buys something using a SaaS configurator, which is the Agency Pro model, when they buy that particular plan, their account automatically gets created. That's one of the main reasons why you want to go to Agency Pro, is to get this level of automation so that you don't have to sit back and manually create the account like you do on the starter plan or even on the unlimited plan. Okay, you get the account automatically created. It does it for you. It sets up the security. It sets up the trial. It sets up all that kind of stuff already for you. All the rebilling, everything else for you whenever somebody signs up. And then, of course, they get the new email from the SaaS configurator, as well as any of your onboarding emails. So they get those pretty quickly, letting them know that the sale is legitimate. It did go through, everything worked, and now they have their new account. And now this particular form is here to give some additional information for people, because your onboarding process, again, I don't know what your onboarding process may look like what kind of information you're selling, versus what information you would need to collect from them. But this is where you would take all of that logic that you would normally look at. So if you've ever walked a customer through onboarding them, hey, I'm going to need this. I'm going to need to ask this question. I'm going to need to gather this piece of data. All of that piece of data that you need to gather before you actually build this should be put as a custom field inside of HighLevel. And again, I'm going to go through the tech stuff after we go through this. I just want to show you how the funnel works first. And then from there, we can go in and take a look and see how the back-end part of it works. But you're going to be creating custom fields for all of the data that's going to be held for the new client form. You're going to put all those fields on the new client form and so forth. So let's take a look at the new client form. This is not extravagant, keep in mind. This is just basic, simple information. Now, one of the things that the form, keep in mind, I know this is all a part of the process, but HighLevel needs a piece of information on the form that will link this data with a contact record. Now, typically the best way to do that is just with an email address. So on the form, this is why I have, if we take a look here, I have email address, and keep in mind, this is the email address I already filled out on the order form. So keep in mind, because it was sticky, I enabled the, forgive the term, stickiness on this form already. Then this form is automatically pulls that information, and they don't have to put the email in here. But I did make this little asterisk. I did make the email a mandatory field. So if something ever happens, they do need to put in the email address in order to associate all of these other custom fields that we've got here, like EIN number, email, domain name, is your business registered on Google? I'm just asking some basic questions here. So this right here is where you really need to gather all that data that you're looking for. Again, you can have as many as you want. You can have certain dates. You can have any number of things that you can have in a custom field you can put on this particular form and gather all of that data so that you've got it ready and available whenever they're doing their onboarding. So hopefully that makes sense. So right now you can just type in anything here for EIN, domain name. Again, I think this was abcsales.com. That may be the email domain they want to use here. Is your business registered on Google? Yes. So we just, again, gathering all the information, because if they put, is your business registered on Google? No. Well, then now you know that part of your onboarding process is going to have to be getting them to set up a Google business profile. So if they don't have that, then you're not going to be able to do the integrations and a lot of the other things that has inside of HighLevel, like the review management and things like that we kind of talked about last week. So excuse me here. So you see, this is just the flow. Fill out the order form, click here, fill out this information. They're going to come down here and click submit. This form is going to go, and then next thing you know, we're going to sit back and take you to the next step. The next step is just going to be, client onboarding call. Now here you can put whatever you want up in here. Please schedule your onboarding call, within the next 48 hours. And keep in mind, you can even have this calendar configured to only allow to only go out for like the next 2 days. So people can't schedule an onboarding call 3 days or 5 days from now. So again, you can limit how far in the future people see calls, and that would be a good idea so that they can get onboarded as quickly as possible. So here again, with the calendar, keep in mind you could do all the calendar customizations. I didn't really do much for here, but if you wanted to put change the style of this, if you wanted to change the color scheme, all that stuff can be customized inside of the calendar configuration, and all of that stuff can be done there. But I'm just going to select 2:30 today, click select date. Now, of course, you're going to have a form. This is just a basic calendar form for filling out information regarding the calendar event. So notice we've got all this information. Again, the stickiness of this allows all of that information that we filled out, like the phone number on the main order form, to be pulled in, email address, so that everything is automatically pre-populated and they don't have to fill anything out. Now, I'm not sure here if so far we have not gotten confirmation about being able to email them and sort of in a sense get their permission to put them on a list. So this gives a good time to put this little checkbox. Yes, I confirm this here, and I don't think I made this mandatory, so I'm just going to uncheck that and see what happens here. Okay, please accept the terms and conditions. So if somebody doesn't, they'll have to check the box. Click book appointment, and at this point they're going to set up their own onboarding call. And here from this one, once it goes through here, just set the event to move to the next step of the funnel. I'm not sure why it displays this temporarily. I did notice that. I didn't have time to investigate it, but here's sort of the last page, and this is just kind of whatever the ending page you want to be. Typically, I put like a little video. Maybe you can have like, hey, welcome to the onboarding process here. I just want to send you, your little welcome video would be like, hey, this is Ray. I want to thank you so much for joining Digi Global Marketing Agency. I appreciate you setting up your onboarding call here so we can get you all set up. This is what to expect over the next 5 to 10 days. You can expect this. We're going to do our onboarding call. From there, we're going to be able to have this and walk them through the process of what all the next steps are to make them feel nice and comfortable with knowing that they made a good purchase, that you gathered all the information that they needed, that this looks very professional, and even just let them know, how your process and system works. And you can even in the video here, notice I've got a couple of buttons, log into your SaaS website. So if you do have a client portal or you want to log them into the community inside of HighLevel or something like that, you can even click here or have buttons that can take them to the training site or something like that. If you sell, online courses, I mean, this is just completely up to you. But this page is just kind of like a final page that people now go to, and they can close it and they're officially done. They bought, scheduled, filled out all your information, and now the ball is in your court. So just want to check real quick and see if any of the members had any questions. Does not look like it. So that right there is sort of the onboarding funnel, and you can add more things if you want to. I don't really know if there's additional information or additional things that you may want, but during the onboarding form, this is where you can do things like, again, keep in mind, ask for social media profiles for your Facebook, your Instagram account. All of that information can be done using custom fields. So now that I've shown you what the funnel itself, just the end result of the funnel looks like, let's kind of take a look at some of the back-end stuff and see how to set this up. So right now, again, this is a funnel. I'll kind of show you the main page here. Just boom, it's got a get started button here. We've got select plan. This right here, this step is pretty straightforward. This is just where you're going to build out all your pricing models, and keep in mind, HighLevel has done a really good job with being able to sit back and add additional elements. Like if you click here, I think, where was it? Pre-built sections for like product. So they've got like their own like product or plan selections. Yeah, so they've got a lot of these things automatically pre-built for you. So if you're looking to build this yourself, you could just use a lot of these pre-built selections and really quickly build these pages if you wanted to. So right now, again, logo, pricing plans, and right now all you need to do is set the, I'm just going to choose this button. If you come over here, notice that the action is going to go, and I am in the way. Give me a second here. So if we blow this up a bit, notice that it's going to take me to the pro plan step. So that's the area that you're going to go to for the button action. Whenever they click on the certain plan, you want to choose that particular funnel step. So that's kind of how that works. And there's nothing else really big about this page here. Now the next pages are something that you have to be careful about. So this is where, because these have order forms on it, the order forms and the products need to be configured on the page in order for the order form to understand what products it's offering. So here's where you're going to go and click on products. And this right here is where you're going to simply add your products. All your products are going to be over here. To add products in here, you'll need to go to, I believe, your payments, products area. And from products, this is where you would, if you're pulling in from Stripe like me, notice that these say an agency plan. Notice this is going to be different. Agency plan, whenever you see that, that means it is a SaaS configurator plan built into HighLevel. So anyway, that's just what that means. Any of the other plans that you have would just be a product that you're create from scratch inside of HighLevel that, inside of Stripe that did not come from the SaaS configurator. But if you wanted to, I can add, like, I've only got the monthly plan on here, but if I wanted to, I can add the yearly tier to offer the annual and the monthly plan on the products, but I'm not going to. But here's where you would add the products to this sub account. Then once they're added here, then they can be configured here inside of the sites. And forgive me, I have to get back into my funnel now. So here we're going to click on this and get back into the, let's just take the standard plan. We're going to go to products, add products. Whenever you click add products, it's going to simply give you a list of all those products that we just saw over there. So that's going to be there. And that's that. So you have to go to each particular plan here and configure each one of the products at each page. Once you do that, you're going to come to order confirmation. You can simply, again, you look at the order confirmation. It's just going to have a basic, well, take a look at it here. So again, we just got an image, logo, order confirmation. This is like a subheadline. This is text. You know, this is a button. This is a basic order confirmation element that you drag onto the page here. So literally, this is like 5 elements. You know, click, drag, 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 drag. Put a little image, center it. Put this in there. Order confirmation. You see what I mean? It should be pretty straightforward. And then when you click on this particular button here, of course, the button right here just simply goes, you know, what do you want to do on the button action? You can do any of these things in here. We're just going to go to the next step, because the next step is the order form in the funnel. So here we don't have, if we wanted to, we can come here and say select the step. This is where if you don't want to go to the next step, if you want to go to a particular step, then you need to choose this, and then you could choose any of the other steps here in the funnels. So because it's the next step, we don't need to worry about that. We just choose next step, click the new next form, and it goes to the next step area. Now I'm not going to configure this. So here in the order form, again, this is where we actually have the form. So rather than show you this page, which just simply has, you know, an image, a subheadline, and a form element, that's all it really has. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to the form builder and just kind of show you one place here for the stickiness. If you've never seen that, I know I kind of brought that up here, but that is important, especially when you have funnels, because people do get irritated with having to type in information again. And heaven forbid, if they type in their email wrong, then they get their account duplicated. You know, now you have 2 different email addresses for 2 different people, and it becomes a pain to merge those later. So right now, notice that we've got some email field here. We can make these other ones mandatory if we wanted to, required, but they don't have to fill this information out if they don't want to, but you're just offering that to them. If you want here, custom fields is where I created a little group called Onboarding, where we have everything here. You just simply drag and drop, boom, and there you go. You create the form. Now over here, these little 3 dots at the top here, these little, whatever you want to call these, you're going to click on that. That's going to give you your form options. You're going to click on options, and under form settings here, you're going to turn on this sticky contact right here. So if you hover over this, you'll see what it actually does. So that is very helpful whenever people are coming back, because that information gets stored, and then you can use that information on the form so they don't have to put the information back in there again. So that's how the form works, and that's how you would do that. Now, Real quick here, before I go back into there, I'm just going to show you the calendar since we're already out of the funnel anyway. So right now, which one did I use? I think book a call with me is the one that I used. So here under forms, notice I could choose a particular form that I want, but one of the things that that you do need to come down here is, where is it? Right here. Sorry, sometimes it's called pre-populate fields, sticky contacts. So you have to turn this on. This is not turned on by default. And if you want the consent checkbox, you can turn this on or off here. It's completely up to you whether or not you want to do that and make them go through another step. That's going to be completely up to you. And then here's where you can customize it and do all the kind of cool stuff. I'm not going to do that here. You could watch one of my other videos on my channel about customizing calendars and things like that. I go over that there. But you can really make this thing look nice and look very professional and just take them through step by step, gather all the information, and that way when your team is ready to onboard people, it becomes very easy because all of their information is already there. So hopefully that makes sense, and we're going to go back here to the funnel. Wait for this thing to load. Click open our SaaS onboarding funnel. So we've gone through the order confirmation, the onboarding form. Again, for this one here, I will show it to you just to make sure that people understand there's nothing too dramatic about these. Again, an image logo, a headline, and then a form element. That's it. That's the only thing that's on this particular page. Again, you can deck it out if you want to. Onboarding call, that's just it. You can simply open this up. This is just going to be an image for, again, for your logo. Maybe it's a personal image where you've got your team or yourself on here, a little headline, sub-headline, and then a calendar element that you actually get configured. So right now, this is, again, whenever you click on this, this is where you set the inside of your funnel where you want it to go next after submit. And if you notice down here underneath the button actions, it just says go to the next step. So once they're at the calendar, then they go, and then that's the final step that they actually go to. But again, there's only a couple of elements on each one of these pages, which makes it very just simplistic, easy to build. But this right here really helps out with your onboarding process, makes you look like really professional, like you're gathering all the information that you need, and saves time. That's the biggest thing, is whenever you start onboarding people and you want to start having a call, you don't have to waste 5 minutes, 10 minutes of people's time getting this information. You can, if you have 20 questions that you need to ask, give me your Facebook profile, your LinkedIn profile, this profile, your X profile, give me all these other things, your YouTube channel, give me your Facebook business page, give me all these things that you might need to know. They can do that and fill out that form beforehand, so you've got all that information ready to go, and then you can easily integrate those whenever you do the onboarding call. And then the welcome is, again, however you want to build it. Again, I built it just with a logo, a video, and so forth in here where you can display a message. I think that's kind of cool at the very end, just letting people know a video message, hey, thanks so much, like a personal message to them. I appreciate it. And if you wanted to, you can even add some customization here with right up underneath here. If you just wanted to put in a headline, I thought about doing this, but I didn't. Where you can just say something like "thank you" and then add bracket contact dot first name. I don't think that's right, but you get my point. But you can simply add one of these fields like this, so that then when the page gets displayed, now you can put like their very first name. So in this kind of case, I was using me as an example. So here at the very end, it'll say, "Thank you, Ray," like for your business. And then your video can continue to play and so forth. That might be a pretty cool little touch at the very end, just to give it some personalization and customization. But here, you can click on this if you want to log into the community. That could be something that you say in your video, like, "Hey, welcome. Please join our community below." Their link for it is below. You should have gotten an email already for signing up for our community. Please use that username and password whenever you want to sign in. All of our trainings in the learning tab, blah, blah, blah. You could do all that kind of stuff and give people a heads up so they can start going over there and maybe start some of the basic intro training before the onboarding call, things like that. So that right there is sort of how you can build a very simple and quick. I mean, I'm just going to say, if you really need to build this thing out from scratch with everything in high level, maybe at the most half a day. And that's for a person that doesn't even, not really an expert in this. I mean, if you're really good at building this, you can build this thing in an hour with all the built-in stuff that HighLevel has. You can reproduce exactly this funnel in an hour, get everything configured and be up and going. But definitely, if you're going to be doing and selling services online, having this as a part of your process. Now, again, the website, I didn't demonstrate that. I don't have a process for that. Let me just take a quick look here. I wasn't going to look at this. I think I do have a website, but I'm not sure if I have any processes on here yet. Not processes, but services. I don't see any of those pages. But right now, if you're doing a web page, very similar. You can do it through a web page. Just when somebody clicks on getting started, they go to a pricing page. From the pricing page, depending upon the button they click, says what order form page to go to. Now, keep in mind, you'll have to make sure that you have a consistent header on here. That's one of the things about just having a website. Make sure you have a consistent header so people can navigate back and go back to different pages. But just have that same kind of click a button here, order this at the end of the order form. When they click on the button, have them go to another page that gives them an order confirmation page. But you want to make sure you turn on all those sticky contacts to make sure that all that information, HighLevel keeps track of all of it so that they don't have to re-enter it again. So that's it, guys. I appreciate it. Right now, hopefully you found that useful. Right now, I'm just trying to take a quick look and see if any of my members here have a question. But if you're interested, if you do want to sit back and ask questions, membership is very inexpensive. Go ahead and click on the join button. Just go to my YouTube channel. There's a join button right at the top. Click join to become a star member. And at that point, you'll be able to sit back and ask me questions live here and just kind of get information. It's very useful whenever we do have a Q&A session, which I believe I'm going to do next week, where we can sit back and just open it up for what problems you're having, what are you struggling with, how can I help you, the members of the channel, get in contact with this. And you can do this even if you're not an affiliate of mine. Now, if you are an affiliate, you always have access to me. You have my personal email and contact information that you can text, email me directly, and we could set up Zoom calls and stuff like that. But if not, then you can get access to me and ask questions through the YouTube channel here. So guys, I don't see any questions. Thanks so much. It was a pleasure. Hopefully you got something out of this, and you guys take it easy and have a great day.